Good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is our Tuesday evening introduction to LifeWave and X39. My name is Robin Blank Mascari. I'm your host this evening, and we have two very special guests tonight, Dr. Tiana and Starsky joining us. And we get together every Tuesday evening to give an overview, a little history about the company, the founder, David Schmidt, and our very special technology called photobiomodulation that has created these amazing results with people with using our own body heat to create wonderful biochemical changes that do amazing things. So a little bit about how I got here. I was suffering from severe knee pain. I was bone on bone for many, many years, and I was researching stem cells injections for the tune of about $12,500 with no guarantee. And a friend called me and said, there's a new technology out that activates your own younger stem cells. And I went, how fast can I get it? So the patches arrived. I placed the patch on the top of my spine, and a week later, the pain in my knee was gone. And that was pretty amazing. Well, I'm the kind of person that can't not share. And what happened after that is the people I shared it with has amazing benefits and results also. And they started sharing. I was very high profile in another company. I came on as a customer. And after a while, I realized this is too much fun. We're doing so well. So many lives are being changed. This technology is amazing. And every single day, I get to hear miracle stories. So fast forward a year and a half later, and thousands of people that have received the benefits from this technology. I'm thrilled to share with you a little bit about the company, the history, and the technology. So let me jump in and talk about LifeWave. LifeWave is a company that will be 16 years old in November. And it started after our genius founder, David Schmidt, was asked to create something for it was a government contract to support the Navy SEALs in being able to stay awake for days on end in their mini subs without the use of chemicals, toxin, anything toxic, or with caffeine. And he created this unique technology that's called photobiomodulation. The technology had been around, but he was able to help access 500 calories of our body fat and have energy, sustained energy be produced. Well, the patches got discovered by athletes. And one day, Richard Quick, the Olympic swim coach for the women's team in the United States, called David Schmidt and said, 6 of my 8 swimmers had their personal best after using the energy enhancer patch the first time. And then the media got a hold of this and all kinds of wonderful things happened. So you can go to lifewave.com in the bottom down in the news section and learn about the athletes from all over the world, Olympians, NBA, NFL. You'll see Serena Williams with a patch on her hand, Michael Phelps. I mean, amazing some people keep it a secret because it's their secret in their performance. And then David started creating more patches. So we had phase 1 of LifeWave, which were kind of symptom related patches, the energy patch. And then he found out that it actually had pain reduction aspects to it. And he enhanced it a bit and created the IceWave pain patch, which over 90% of people get instant or rapid pain relief. We're actually allowed to use the word pain because we have clinical studies behind our technology, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. And then the sleep patch. European hospitals have been using that instead of sleeping pills. And the next phase was the anti-aging phase, and 3 patches came out during that time that would actually kind of stop the aging process by doing a variety of things like reducing stress, inflammation, cell renewal, and producing the major antioxidant in our body called glutathione, which also detoxes the body. Wonderful things happen with those patches. And now the 3rd phase, which is called the regenerative phase. In this phase, we don't just stop the aging process, we actually turn back the biological clock. And in 2018, LifeWave launched the X39 stem cell activation patch. It activates the copper peptide called GHK-Cu. So please write that down because we'd love you to do your own research. This calls an introduction. So many of you are new to this technology, and we're going to talk a little bit about what are stem cells and what is this technology in just a few minutes. And so now we're in the regenerative phase. And this phase, when this patch came out, the company tripled in size from 2018 to 2019. Very exciting with just the introduction of this one patch. So we call it a single product focus and a multi-product company. And we recommend that everyone, unless you have severe symptoms, start with X39 only for 60 to 90 days and try the patches for 90 days before you make your decision. With our customer program, we've got a 90-day risk-free guarantee. Well, the man behind this, David Schmidt, we are so proud to have him as our founder, our owner, our chief scientist and inventor. He has over 100 patents and patent pendings to his name. He's a scientist at heart. As a child, he was one of those kids that always wanted to figure out how everything worked. And what he did was figure out how to activate this copper peptide, which is known in scientific circles as the Holy Grail of health, healing, and regeneration. And he's done what the multi-billion-dollar companies have not been able to do. So David and the company invest millions and millions of dollars in clinical research. We've got over 80 published clinical studies from independent sources to validate the efficacy of these products. And David chose network marketing as the vehicle to bring this amazing science to the market and distribution. And we're thrilled that he did that. So now we get to bring on our special guest for this evening. And I'm going to read a little bit about her bio because I've known this woman for many years. Her passion, her wisdom, her knowledge are amazing. But I just want to share with you a little bit about Dr. Tiana. She's a naturopathic doctor of over 40 years, a scientist, an international best-selling author, a therapist specializing in mind, body, energy healing, enlightened self-care. Sign me up. Personal evolution and a trailblazing mystic. Love it. She's ahead of the curve all the time. She just recently founded the Awakening Academy that empowers you to face life's challenges by accessing your own soul's guidance and innate power. So joining us this evening with Dr. Tiana is a very special guest that I'm going to let her introduce to us. So I am thrilled to have you with us, Dr. Tiana.
Hello, Robin, and
welcome.
It's my honor to be here with you and everyone. Oh. And here's our special guest star of the evening.
The star of the evening is Starsky. So I'd love you to share as we get started, Dr. Tiana. How did you get involved in LifeWave, and why are you so passionate about this technology?
Well, first, my dear, you are my angel. When I posted on Facebook, which I rarely do, send energy and healing, because Starsky had heart failure, had gone into the light, and was at the stage of literally signing cremation papers. As much as I was crying and turning it over with guidance and asking God for, I'll do anything, just bring my doggy back. And then you responded, Robin. And you notice I didn't hesitate. I picked up the phone and said, I don't know what it is. You said, well, my friend's dog healed with stem cells. And I knew about stem cells from my past history and research. And I said, I don't care, just send them like overnight. And you did. And what I witnessed was nothing short of a miracle. Here he is, living proof of the power of stem cells. He was literally not only knocking at death's door, he was at death's door. He had eaten, peed, pooped, done all the things dogs do for several days. He had that stench of death, and he was just flat. The stem cells arrived, the patch arrived. I put it on his collar, which to this day, he is still wearing it. See his collar? He wears his stem cells faithfully every day. And what I saw, both medically and psychically, were something I've never seen in my life before. In 20 minutes, this little dog that was so dying, and I was trying to get him to bark one last time so I could capture it on film. I mean, on voice and film and everything, starts barking. Within another 20 minutes, he's trying to stand up like a drunken sailor. And within another 20 minutes, he's like telepathing me, "Where's the food? You haven't fed me in days. What kind of a mom are you?" And 1 hour, and I watched as the light went into his body because, as I said, I'm a clairvoyant from childhood, and I could see the organs light up like a pinball machine that goes ding, 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 ding. And he was back. And that was a year and a half ago. Now, he hasn't missed his stem cells since.
Oh my gosh. Such an amazing story, the Starsky story. He literally came back from death's door. And,
Literally.
and he's been with us a year and a half since then when he was about to go. And so everybody knows there's no placebo with animals. And so I'd love you to share a little bit, Dr. Tiana, about what, and our dogs are enjoying the show too because they want to be part of this.
Oh, yes,
they're,
absolutely.
they're
And
joining
that's
us
the
too.
pets, too. If anybody has pet stories, bring them on.
Yes, we love the pet stories. So there's many people that, you know, they've heard of stem cells because they're in the news. It's the future of medicine. Could you briefly explain what are stem cells and why is this so amazing to have this available to us right now?
Well, stem cells are amazing, but what David Schmidt has done with these stem cells is beyond amazing. So let's start with, as babies, you see how easy babies heal and they cry, but they've got millions of stem cells. So they repair quickly, even though they have falls and everything. By 30, we're halfway there. By 60, they're 10% gone. And then they say by 70 and on, well, by stem cells. And stem cells come in differentiated and undifferentiated form. Now, I'm passionate about the undifferentiated, but the differentiated, so everybody will understand, are the stem cells that this will become an eye cell, and this will become a knee cell. The wisdom of the body goes to each part of the body, but it's those undifferentiated cells, those embryonic ones, that the body's innate wisdom sends them like little agents to wherever the inflammation is, to wherever the issue. I almost think of it like in future medicine, you know, like there was that Space Odyssey thing where the little thing goes in and they go, okay, they go through the body, and here it is, and it goes right to where the natural healing of the body is needed. And like you said, Robin, with animals, there's no belief structure in the way. So with Starsky, as soon as the light hit his body, because it was within his collar, within a few inches, within an hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, it was hard to believe if anybody had told me something like that. But I even have a witness. His godmother was there because we were crying. We were preparing for the funeral. We were really ready. Instead, that was not his destiny. His was to bring in Team Starsky and light into the world for all people to know that if it can work for him, it can work for anyone.
So beautiful. So what you just shared is when we're babies, we have like a billion. And
Mhm.
by the time we're 30, we have half left. And by the time we're 60, 10% left. So the
100%.
reason,
And
what?
and I wanted to piggyback on that, Robin. Before LifeWave came into my world, I was researching because everybody says, "Oh, when you get to be in your 60s, your body's not going to work well, and you're going to be old and decline." And I'm like, okay, aside from a belief system that I don't want to incorporate, what science matches this? And I had already discovered stem cells and telomeres were the two things. Now, telomeres, believe it or not, deep laughter will increase your telomeres, and that's your quality of life. And stem cells, like you checked out, I went to Mexico. I saw the clinics. I saw the process that is highly painful, excuse me, and quite expensive. And then here's this teeny little know nothing patch. I mean, really, it looks like a little host. And you put it on a collar or on your body anywhere you want, and it miraculously regenerates? Yes. Yes. I mean, the conscious mind has a hard time understanding this. So I want everybody out there to give themselves a hug for their conscious mind because they can't understand this. But the subconscious and especially the intuitive mind knows this to be so.
It's so
And
beautiful.
so it's in the results. See, this is an invisible experience that produces tangible results. And I've been in practice for over 40 years. So I'm dating myself. Folks, I'm in my late 60s. And I'm telling you that this stuff really rewinds everything, but that's beside the point. I know that I've never seen anything work so amazingly well. And I've been blessed. I've worked with shamans, healers around the world, laying on of hands. I'm a Reiki master from the olden days. Nothing. And peel and stick, I call it self healing on autopilot.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So the the stem cell, I'd love you to explain to people about this technology. It's a form of light therapy called photobiomodulation. So if you can kind of share what is that, because that's new for a lot of people, and it used to be referred to as snake oil. Now it's an accepted science with thousands and thousands of research papers behind it. What is it?
Well, the truth is, before we get to the snake oil, I'm just going to give one little piece so people stop calling quantum physics snake oil and all this energy medicine snake oil. It is 21st century medicine, people. We look like we're physical and very material, and we are, but it's congealed energy. It's a vibration that comes down, down, down into physical form. So take the words photo biomodulation. When I first heard it, I said, oh, I can't even say it 3 times fast. So I broke it down for my clients. I said, photo, think of light. Light comes into the body. Bio, it creates a biochemical reaction that ignites your own cellular wisdom. The body is a miracle temple that was born to heal itself. We've kind of adulterated it a bit, but that's beside the point. And modulation, it's modulated just uniquely for you. Everybody's different, everybody's biochemistry is different, everybody's biology, biochemistry, belief structures, everything's different. So that's why I encourage everybody, give it up to 3 months. Don't decide. Sometimes you can get it in one day. I've had clients that in 2 to 3 days, their life transformed. Issues we were working on for weeks, 3 days, done. I mean, this is from my own practice. This isn't even testimonials from other doctors. This is mine. I got to see it with my own 2 eyes and my own little laying on of hands. But in any case, I saw amazing things. And as we know that within a week, most people get results. And some it takes 3 months. And I've had people that, really, doctor, it's go. I said, just trust your body. Stay with the X39. Think of it as a foundation to an incredible fertile soil that is your cells, that is your life force. Water it properly, get plenty of hydration because you need plenty of water, and just give yourself lots of hugs and trust that it's doing what it needs to do uniquely for you in your unique timing. And
Beautiful.
I haven't had one person come back and say, no, it didn't work. Not one.
Well,
Not
isn't
one.
that amazing? And sometimes, like you just said, people don't notice it's working, but we know it's always working because, like you said earlier, Dr. Tiana, stem cells have this innate wisdom to go in the body what is most life-threatening first. The areas of greatest inflammation, like you mentioned, if there's a damaged cell in a vital organ, it's going to be regenerated first. And so some people notice it sometimes like that. Sometimes
Exactly.
it's much more subtle over time. I mean, it took a week for me for the knee pain to go away. And then I noticed, oh my goodness, my hair's thicker. And oh, the fine lines and wrinkles, there's more collagen. And, and then my reaction time got better. And my really fun one was my finger was stuck in this position from an accident 20 years ago. And I can now straighten out my finger. Amazing.
Yeah,
And
but
we say,
that's your body.
wow. We
Your
say,
body
wow,
is
all the
an
time.
amazing, amazing vehicle of light. And that's true for everyone. And this is what Hippocrates talked about. First, do no harm. this does no harm. I'm so excited about LifeWave because I know there's no harm done. Non-invasive, non-toxic. Before this pandemic, I never left home without them. And wherever somebody was suffering, I would just go up to them, total strangers, and say, I have something that might give you an experience of release from pain. Are you willing to have an experience? And they'd look at me and I'm like, I am a doctor. That's where I invoke that. But I would watch total strangers in the train next to me going to Grand Central, at Starbucks, at the hairdressers, people releasing pain, and my own pain story. Because Starsky had his story, but when I face planted after I got out of the tub one night, and my first reaction, you would think, I knew I could have had a concussion because I did, was not to go for ice. I went for ice waves, X39, glutathione, Eon. I patched myself like you should have seen the black and blue. And within 2 days, I was no black and blue. I even had my own speech. I could not form words. That was frightening, but I wasn't scared because I
Wow.
just work with the patches. And of course, my body medicine of consciousness. What's the soul telling me? But that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Thank you.
That
Thank
goes
you.
into a whole other arena.
Over time, I tell people you don't need to go to such extreme to have a great testimonial. So now we'd love to hear your testimonials as participants. If you'd like to share a testimonial, please write your name in the chat and I'll allow you to speak. And remember that we aren't here to prescribe, diagnose, treat, cure any diseases. Please mention symptoms only. We don't speak disease states. We're in the natural products business. And as Dr. Tiana said, it's natural, it's non-invasive, it's actually non-transdermal. There's nothing going into the body other than a frequency of light that your own body generates. So this is your own body healing itself. So I'm looking for questions, or if someone has a question or a testimonial. I'm not seeing anyone show up here. So if you guys don't have things to share, we'll keep talking
We'll
because
keep
we can
talking.
go on. We
Any
can go on.
stories?
Well, I've heard so many stories just today only. It was amazing. I will share a story from a friend from Hawaii. Um, she was sharing today that she's had a situation where her bone density was needing, they wanted to recommend some medications and she just didn't want to go there. And she hadn't been checked in several years. And she got checked and they said, I don't understand. You're getting older and your bone density is better. What's going on? And she said, and she shared with him what she's doing. And then she said, I think I need a new prescription. And so she went to the eye doctor to get a stronger prescription. They said, well, the reason you're having trouble is your eyes have actually improved.
Wow.
And and so we get to see things happen every single day. Like I said, I get to hear miracle stories. The Starsky story, of course, is one of my favorite. And so someone's asking, Jim, how long does a patch last, Dr. Tiana?
It's 12 hours. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And it's important to take it off. I mean, with Starsky in the beginning, I didn't want to take it off because I was so afraid that if I took it off, he'd die on me, But David Schmidt is so brilliant in knowing that the body needs to maintain its own frequency. It needs to stay ignited on its own. So the 12 hours on does the igniting, and then 12 hours off, it balances itself out, integrates itself, and it's like a wireless signal. The signal stays on as long as you take the patch off. It stays on its own. Then you repatch and take it off. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and lots and lots and lots of water. That's my recommendation.
Yes, hydration is really important. It operates on the body's electrical system. So that's really important to be hydrated. And something that we didn't talk about, the patches are activated when they're 3 to 6 inches from our body. So when you're not using them, keep them away from your body. And when they're on, they're on. And when you take them off, they're still working, which is really exciting. And like I said, some people it's right away. Some people it takes time. Some people, and maybe you can address this, Dr. Tiana, some people actually have, you know, a retracing experience, some additional. Could you explain what's
I,
happening to
I
people?
was
They
just
actually
going
feel,
to say that. In the
Great.
healing arts, we call that chemicalization or detoxing. That's where the old pattern is still fighting for its survival while the new pattern hasn't established itself yet. So the wisdom of the body is to go to the source. That's the beauty. It's not doing topical, it's going to the source. So sometimes it releases, but there's nothing to be concerned about because it's your body own healing itself. The body's not going to harm itself. It's smarter than our brains are. So it's not going to lie and it's not going to hurt. What it will do sometimes is, and this is the beauty of LifeWave, if you're having a detox experience or retracing, take the patch off. Unlike a pill that you can't go down your throat and pull it out, take the patch off, drink plenty of water, and call me in the morning. That's what I tell my people. And they're now accustomed to, some people can't use the full 12 hours. So they need to do, my own sister could not do 12 hours. She calls me up, she says, this is giving me such a hard time. I'm like, okay, breathe. You know the drill. Take it off, drink plenty of water, and let's just do 3 hours, 4 hours, slowly build up. And that's what we did. We slowly built up. And now
Great.
she's having great results.
Great, thank you. And I remember listening to a video that David Schmidt said is, when there's new cells regenerating, there's old cells that slough off and they can create inflammation that can cause some temporary discomfort or pain leaving your body. So there's several things that happen. So like Dr. Tiana mentioned, just take the patch off and you'll feel better. So someone is asking, can you use 2 types of sleeping patches like Alavita and Silent Night at the same time?
Absolutely. I've done it.
Gregory does it. Gregory does it all the night. You should see what we look like at night.
I have to be honest. I do not go to sleep without my Alavita. And I know technically there are strategic places to patch it, but I love it right on my third eye. I put it right there. It just feels activating. And I rarely have any sleep issues, but when I do, right to the right temple, go Silent Night.
Great. And I think Peter Wolf wants to share his testimonial. So let me see how I can. Now that's interesting. Okay, Peter. I'm trying to. They've changed something here. I'm sorry. Let's see. While I'm releasing Peter from the. Oh, I know. Let's see. I've got to find him up here. That's all. But someone else had asked a question, then I'll unmute Peter. Where can I learn more about the Patches website?
Oh, well, just go to theliveyounger.com. That gives you the different videos, or just join the LifeWave and go into the back where all the patches are. Just click on all the. You told me to be a happy clicker, and I am, Robin, happy clicker. Have them go to the back, play the patches, see where it's placed, see what it's about. Just all the science is back in those offices. It's fabulous because everything's there.
It's so true. And if you click on the products and you go to each patch, there's details available about each patch. There's a short video, there's placement. And so there's lots of places. There is a YouTube that I did with Dr. Nicholas, and he explains all the patches. So if you search on YouTube, you can search my name, you can search LifeWave, and it'll show up because there's been about 8,000 views on that. So I think Peter's available to talk and share his story for us.
I think I am.
Wonderful.
Hi, Peter.
Great to have you here.
Hi, Dr. Tiana. Robin, thank you so much for being here this evening.
Great to have you.
Thank you. I'll briefly share my old testimony and then a brand new one. So about a year ago, prior to using the stem cell patch, I was experiencing 2 knees that were not happy. When I would go hiking, sometimes just going down a staircase, my knees would be screaming at me. And in addition to that, I had chronic lower back pain for probably the last 15, maybe 20 years. It was pretty much constant. After using the stem cell activator patch for less than a month, both knees and my lower back became virtually pain-free. So not only can I hike and descend steep hills and stairs, but I can trail run and enjoy a lifestyle that I was enjoying 20, 25 years ago. Now, we went hiking on Sunday, and apparently I came across some sort of vegetation that my skin didn't like. And I noticed I had a little rash behind my right knee on my calf. And so yesterday morning, I put an X39 patch on that spot. And by the end of the day, the rash was completely gone. It was almost hive-like. Well, then this morning, I was looking at my calf while I was talking to a new distributor on the phone, and I noticed that the varicose veins that had been present on my right calf for many years are now completely gone.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Yay.
Wow,
thank
that's
you.
beautiful. Thank you so much, Peter. Well, we have a bunch of questions in the Q&A. We are at the bottom of the hour, so are you willing to stand for a few quick more minutes, Dr. Tiana?
No, of course not. Yes, yes.
Okay, Kathy's
Yes,
asking,
yes, Rob.
are there patches that can help her for her dry eyes?
Well, again, start with the X39. It's not specific to different problems. Get the base going. Then if you want, you could add some of the other patches, but I always start with the X39. Has she tried the X39 for a while?
I don't know. She just put this in. So sometimes it takes time and it may be working on something else first.
Exactly. And sometimes after a while, then you could add the Eon patch because that takes down the inflammation and any stress-related fight or flight reaction that could be behind it, and Alavita. Those are the ones I would play with.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So someone's asking, I know the patch works on acupoints and there are recommended points. Is it important to know the points to have greater effects using the patch?
I think yes, it's great to have the acupoints, and I've never seen a product that's more intuitive. So especially X39, it goes wherever your body says, place me. There are the acupoints to put it on the back of the neck or under the belly button, but feel free, especially with X39, wherever it tells you, place me, put it there.
Great.
What do you think, Robin? The other ones I think are a little bit more accurate, but
well, there's several patches that there's systemic points. You know, the top of the spine on C7, the dantian 2 fingers below the belly button, you know, in between the clavicle. Those are kind of systemic points where a lot of the patches will just go systemically where they're needed, but there are very specific placements for other points, for other patches, especially Ice Wave. And so there's instruction booklets with each patch. You don't need to learn all of it. If you do know it, like there's an old Ice Wave booklet that talks about total body pain and head pain and gives several different spots, because if you do know that, you know, this spot or this spot may help with head pain when, you know, and those are acupressure meridian points, that can be helpful. But what I love what Dr. Nicholas says. He says, trust your instincts.
Yes.
The beauty is they're totally safe. You will never get hurt. And nothing's going in your body. And try different, you get an intuition or a hunch to put it in a certain spot, try it. A lot of people use a piece of tape and just put it on different spots and just kind of notice, are they getting relief? And so
that reminds me of something. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Robin, but it reminded me of one of the worst back pains I ever had. It was bad. It was like about an 8, and I couldn't even read the instructions. I knew the pain patch had 2 patches to it. All I remember was take the brown patch and put it where the pain really is. And that's all I could do is put the brown patch where the pain, and within less than 60 seconds, it went to a 3. Yeah. That was like
amazing.
You can do no harm. This Hippocrates would be very proud of LifeWave.
I think so. Do no harm. And Molly just had a full hysterectomy, and she's wondering if the patches will help balance her hormones again.
I can only say again, they can do no harm and they can really balance beautifully. An aside, if she drinks red raspberry leaf tea, I know it's not LifeWave right now, but that is a great toner to rebalance that I offer my clients after anything like that. But
Great.
again, X39 takes down inflammation and that will help the hormones
Oh,
balance out as
wonderful.
well as P6.
Well, it has been a total delight to have you this evening. And I think you'll get to be with us once a month as we rotate our
I'll be
doctors.
like a period.
What?
I'll be like a period once a month.
Or, we have several new doctors coming on. So I want to give a very warm and special thank you to you and Starsky for all that's it's a wonderful story, and I think everyone knows their animal lover friends, and if they're having a challenge with their animals, there's nothing to lose but their health to gain. And we hear so many stories in it. I mean, bunnies and guinea
I did
pigs,
a
dogs,
tortoise. Did
a,
a tortoise.
a
A
tortoise, a
200-year-old
fish,
tortoise.
a dead fish almost in the fish tank. I mean, it goes, and there is a whole website for horses. We have a special patch
I was
called
just about to
AccuLife.
say that we're
Oh,
working with a thoroughbred now called Thunder, and we're following Thunder's story of
great.
anxiety while it gets back into racing.
But I do want to say we recommend everyone use X39 for 60 to 90 days before exploring other patches because it's so comprehensive. It can make a huge difference, and you may not need anything else in addition to that. We're so grateful to all of you for joining us on our live call. This is on Facebook Live also, so you can watch the replay. It's also on our Zoom channel, Live Younger. Live on our YouTube channel, liveyoungeryoutube.com, where you can find all these wonderful Zooms. And thank you everyone for joining us. And if you're brand new and you're just checking us out, please get back to the person who invited you, and they will help you get more information and get some patches and get started and realize that there is no risk. There's a 90-day risk-free guarantee for customers, and we recommend you use the patches for 90 days and before you make a decision, because it could take some time for you to get the benefits that you want. Didn't start overnight. It's not going to, it may end quickly, but you just don't know. Well, thank you everyone.
I was just about to say, Robin, before you sign off,
Yes.
you have nothing to lose and all to gain of a high quality of life. And everyone listening, you deserve the highest quality of life for the rest of your life.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And there's nothing greater than helping people that you love with the quality of their life. So thanks to you. Wonderful to be with you. Thank you, Starsky.
Wonderful. He's resting now. He's sound asleep.
Resting. He's done his job for tonight. So thank you, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.